So we got the last of the qualifiers for the Ironman tournament today. It's the Blood Angels versus the Eldar. What we have, if I will actually remove the models properly, is we are playing Mobile Defense Battle Mission. So the Eldar can only deploy monstrous creatures, infantry, and walkers. There we are. Anything which has got a dedicated transport or is a vehicle has to go in reserve, which in this case is only one unit, the Fire Dragons and the Wave Serpent. So they got a bit lucky with the choice mission there. They can start rolling for their reserves on turn 1, however, opposed to the Blood Angels. So the Blood Angels are spread out along this board edge with the Librarian in the middle, and the Wraith Guard and Lord and combat troops there all at the front, with everything else at the back with reserve, with lending fire support. And we've also got the Vanguard veterans in reserve as well. So, according to the mission rules, on a 4 or more, the Eldar go first. So it's a 3, so the Blood Angels will be going first this game. So a fairly uneventful turn from the Blood Angels. Most of the Land Raiders didn't move much, if at all, and they just opened fire with all the weapons they could into the Wraith Lord and Wraith Guard. They managed to take the Wraith Lord down to 2 wounds left and kill off one of the Wraith Guard, but other than that they didn't manage to do much, which is understandable considering the size of the Blood Angel army. So, let's go over to Eldar turn 1. So, another uneventful turn again. This seems like it's going to be said a lot this game. Most of the forces just moved up as fast as they could, firing what little weapons they've got to damage the Land Raiders. The Wraith Guard could only manage to get 2 of the Wraith Cannons in range of that Land Raider, but managed to roll a 1 to damage it, so couldn't do anything. The Bright Lance from that Wraith Lord over there struck that, penetrated it, but they passed their cover save granted to them by the Librarian's psychic power of Sanguinary Shield. And unfortunately not much else happened, with just everything else moving up, with very little on the board which can actually damage the Land Raiders. So let's go into the Blood Angel turn 2. I take back everything I just said about this being an uneventful turns. The Blood Angels just obliterated unit upon unit upon unit. So first of all, these 2 Land Raiders turned and faced the Wraith Lord, blew him out of the water with 2 las cannon shots to the chest, killing him. We then had the Wraith Guard, who just got shot to pieces by a combination of a Flamestorm cannon and the other rest of the Land Raider shots pouring into them. And they were then charged by the Death Company, which jumped out at this Land Raider, who killed off all but one of them, and the others went down to fearless saves, leaving only the Farseer alive with only 2 wounds left. And the Vanguard veteran came down, deep striked exactly where they intended to, charged the Rangers, killing 4 of them and making them run. So the Rangers are at the moment running, and we'll see what the Eldar can do to come back from this now. So the Eldar reinforcements arrived, and more or less the entire army let loose into the Vanguard veterans, just destroying them. Almost seemed like bullying with the amount of shots they had to withstand. The Scorpions ran off here and to help out the Farseer in combat. They managed to kill one of the Death Company, thankfully the one with the Power Fist. However, they are still locked in combat, so we'll see what the Death Company can pull out of this, if they can survive, even, and go off to Blood Angel turn 3. So more absolute mayhem and barbecued elf for this turn. The Redeemer moved up and barbecued these guys. They failed the leadership test. They had their re-rolls for Emboldened, but failed it again, rolling the exact same dice. So they're running away. However, they're not under half strength. They are just over it, so they can rally. The War Walker took just one hit. The War Walkers just took one hit from that assault cannon there, and it wrecked one, took the weapon off another, and stopped the other one from shooting. So that's a very effective assault cannon there. However, this side of the board, the Waith Lord is still standing, as it managed to pass its cover saves granted from it being shot at by this Land Raider. And the Death Company and the Scorpions are fighting to another draw again. So let's see what Eldar can pull back from this. So the Eldar are starting to look a little better off. The Fire Dragons came on over here from the disembarking from the Wave Serpent, fired their melter guns into there. However, they managed to save 2 out of the 3 penetrating hits, thanks to Sanguinary Shield, and it only managed to blow off one of the weapons. So it hasn't got that dangerous assault cannon anymore, but it's not exactly as what they wanted. However, the Death Company were finished off. They managed to kill one, then one died from combat resolution. So they have finally been able to disengage. But it's starting to look slightly tilted in the favour of the Blood Angels, considering they've only lost 2 units, where the Blood Angels have probably... well, not Blood Angels, the Eldar have lost about half their army. So let's go on to Blood Angel turn 4. So it's not looking good for Eldar, even more so than it was earlier. The Marines assaulted out of this Land Raider, charged into the Farseer and the Scorpions, and only one Scorpion lives, who's now currently running away. However, the Farseer did manage to pass her leadership test, so she's still in there. That unit jumped out and assaulted those Fire Dragons, killing all but one, but somehow he managed to pass his leadership test, so he's still in there as well. The Redeemer came back and roasted quite a few more Guardians, leaving only one alive. And remarkably, he passed his leadership test as well, so he's not running. And the Waith Lord took had a wound taken off by a pot shot from the Land Raider over there with the las cannons, even with the cover saves. So we'll see what Eldar can scrape back from this on their turn 4. So there's maybe one thing which you might be noticing, and that's that one Land Raider has finally gone belly up. Finally the Waith Lord took it down with its Bright Lance. However, it seems a little too late, considering the last Fire Dragon and the Farseer are both dead now. There's only one infantry model left on the board who isn't running away, and it is an objective game, so it's not looking fantastically good. However, we are going to keep going until the very end, because that's how the game should be played, and we're here for fun. That's what we're here for. We're here for fun. Not to win, anything like that. Fun. So, we'll go on to Blood Angel turn 5 and see how much more fun they can make. So, that was a very short-lived turn 5. The last of the infantry is dead from a flamestorm cannon. The Wave Serpent over there was blown up by a melter gun. So despite the fact that it doesn't get 2d6, it still managed to blow it up. So all we got left are 2 units, one of which can't even hurt any of the Land Raiders. But we're going to keep going, so it's Eldar turn 5. Right, there was more or less no point in making a cut there at all. Warwalkers just moved, shot, missed, that was it. We rolled to see if the game continues, and we rolled a 4. However, one thing we didn't notice was that nobody's on an objective. So if it had ended on turn 5, it would have been a draw technically. So we're going on to turn 6 to see if Blood Angels can actually remember to stand on the blooming objectives. So at the end of that turn, that was basically just shooken up completely. They can't move or shoot at all. The Redeemer took its wounds. The Waste Lord took a win from the Multi-Melter. However, we decided to run the turns in together. It did run up and punch the Land Raider, managing to actually hit it and wreck the thing. So we'll see if the game continues after that. And it doesn't. So it's not really going to matter what happens to them. They've got no troops, no units to contest the objectives in time. So it's a Blood Angel victory. So that means the Blood Angels will be going through to the second round. So that's the end of the tournament. A couple demons didn't like my hairstyle, so they decided to lop off my hair to teach me a lesson. So we've got Chaos, Tyranids, and Blood Angels going through to the next round. But we need 4 people in the final round. So let's find out who is going to be the last person. So we're going to be having on a 1 to 2, it's going to be Imperial Guard. On a 3 or 4, it's going to be Imperial Fists. On a 5 or 6, it's going to be Eldar. So let's see what happens. And it's a 2. So that means that the Imperial Guard go through to the next round. What this now means is that we now need to roll off to see who goes against each other next. Of course, if Imperial Guard and Chaos go against each other, we will re-roll because they have gone against each other once before. Because we don't want to repeat the exact same armies fighting the exact same sort of thing. So we're going to do that off camera, and here's what the new layout looks. So up for the second round, we've now got the newly winners Blood Angels. They're going to be going up against Chaos. So this should be a relatively good game. We then got the Imperial Guard, who managed to get through on a technicality, if you say, up against the Tyranids. So that should be a good game also, with the large numbers of models on both sides. So we're going to be playing a random battle mission this time. Some of you may notice that on the second video with the Tyranids versus Imperial Fists, we forgot to play a battle mission. We are sorry for that, but considering that the Tyranid and Space Marine battle missions, most of them involved Marines coming on in reserve, or the fact that the Tyranids had a huge advantage to getting to assault, we reckon it probably would have ended about the same, so which is why we didn't refilm it and replay it. So we will see you all next time for the semi-finals.